Hey everybody, everything new under the sun. I've spoken at length in the past about how one of the ways everything is going to go down is by way of communications failure, cyber attack, denial of service, whatever it may be, taking out critical infrastructure. And sure enough, that's the threat that China and Russia pose. And there's an article here about this is from American Military News. China's first step if war with the U.S. breaks out. Now, just to cap it or just to lead off, I did a quick search on this is DuckDuckGo for a few different key terms. So this is hacked. So you can see all the hacks in the last couple of days. 6 hours ago, Azure cloud storage hacked with stolen Microsoft accounts. Discord hacked, a popular chat option. Let's see. Instagram hacked. That's on MSN.com. MGM reeling. Let me scroll down here. MGM reeling from cyber chaos for 5 days after attack as Caesars Entertainment says it was hacked. It goes on, and just 5 days ago, 4 days ago, from Yahoo News, hacked construction sign sends nasty message to drivers. There's hacking all over. Here is DDoS. Adaptive DDoS attacks, denial of service. This is where they send too much information to a server. They overload the web server so that no one can actually access the website and do anything. Now, this happened in a few different Canadian provinces to government websites. The weather network was down all throughout Hurricane Lee, where we couldn't get valid information from the iPad app, just as an example. It says Canadian government targeted with DDoS attacks by a pro-Russian group. Makes sense since we're supporting, the Ukraine war. DDoS attack hampers websites. Let's see. Canada Cyber Center issues an alert after government DDoS attacks in Prince Edward Island, Yukon, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and prompted federal cyber agency to issue an IT alert. Huge DDoS attacks against U.S. financial institutions. Wouldn't that be a convenient sort of excuse if the banking system went down? Oops, cyber attack. Oops, we're going to have a banking holiday for the weekend to sort out the cyber attack. And, all of a sudden come Monday, there's a new currency. Just be aware of that. There's a couple of different angles. These are real attacks, but these could also be used by the government for a switchover of the monetary system as an example. It goes on and on. This is a search for spyware as a keyword. Sneaky spyware is after your most sensitive data. Apple informs journalist Russia is targeting them with Pegasus spyware. Probe reveals secret Israeli spyware that infects targets via ads. So this is all over, and cyber attacks, cyber warfare is going on all the time, all over the place. Most of it you're unaware of until it causes trouble with your computer or your software or your cell phone, or a service goes down like Interac, for example, and you can't pay for your gasoline. This happened to me a couple of years ago where no one could use their debit cards at the gas pump. And that was only for 15 minutes when that service was down and people were going crazy. There was a countrywide cellular network outage in Canada as well just a couple of years ago. And what's the first thing that's going to go down? Communications. If World War III is about to start, communications are going to be the first thing. If the civilians, if the public can't communicate and the government can't communicate with the public, then there's chaos, and a country can't defend itself in that situation. Now, there is a test, I believe, in the United States coming October 4th, a cellular phone message test to test alert systems. Interesting that the hack on the weather network in the Maritimes, Canada here, was against a company which also managed critical, emergency alerts. Now, they said that their emergency alert system was not compromised by the cyber attack. Only their web-based, weather network website was compromised. Nonetheless, that same company who ran the emergency alerts may not be around next time. Remember, China and Russia, they're not going to take out our critical systems now. They're just testing the edges. They're taking down and testing their DDoS attacks and et cetera against kind of non-critical targets right now. So when the war does start, our internet, our banking system will go down. Our emergency alerts will go down. None of that will be available when World War III starts. Mark my words, you will not get a message, even if the government was interested in telling you that World War III has started. It's not going to be available because that's going to be the first thing Russia and China go after. So this should be sobering to you. This is why you need to get a family radio service walkie-talkie. This is why you need to get GRMS. This is why you need to get ham radio. Any old walkie-talkie set that you can get is going to be helpful because you can talk from house to house with your neighbors and set up a bit of a guerrilla communication network. We have the conversation about EMPs and such, and that's a different conversation, but communications will go down. Pentagon unveiled its new 2023 cyber strategy, painting sobering picture of the looming cyber threats from China and Russia. It says both nations, China and Russia, equipped to launch a series of cyber attacks targeting U.S. critical infrastructure and defense networks in the event of war. Now, this is going to be the first thing they do. When World War III is about to start, cyber attacks will go live. None of this, small DDoS attack against a weather website. Your critical emergency alert systems will go down 100%. These will go down. I don't see any way that any military can prevent this. We're going to be doing it to them. They're going to be doing it to us, but it will go down. You will have no idea when things start happening other than the fact that you won't be able to make a phone call. You won't be able to send a text, or sending a text will be very hard, for example. You won't be able to go to government websites to determine what's happening, or civilian websites for that matter. The internet will be overloaded and possibly just simply down. We know Russia has been probing undersea internet cables and telecommunications cables. Why? Because in the event of World War III, they're going to go blow them up or cut them, right? The revelation underscores the escalating global cyber conflict. According to the unclassified summary made to the public September 12th, the tactics intended by China and Russia aim to target our critical infrastructure. Yes, they won't go after your personal email. They will go after critical infrastructure. Cellular systems will be down. Banking systems will be down. You won't be able to buy things. You won't be able to communicate with others. If you have a digital car, a Tesla, whatever it may be, it's probably not going to work because it has to be talking to Tesla all the time, as far as I understand, for it to start, and it has to register online. There's a lot of devices, computers, a lot of network appliances that have to register and communicate online and have that access for them to actually work, or for you to be able to access them. All that will be down, folks. I'm telling you to get ready now. Have all your equipment, know what all your equipment requires, and ensure you get old-fashioned equipment, old-fashioned cars that don't require internet and have minimal technology on board. United States is challenged by malicious cyber attacks who seek to exploit our technological vulnerabilities and undermine our military's competitive edge. The easiest way to take out the West is to take out our technology. What is everybody looking down at when they're on the street, when they're in a restaurant, when they're at school? They're looking at their cell phone. If you take that away from people, people will go mad. They will go nuts. That is their only information. We don't even have paper newspapers hardly anymore. So that's not going to be an option. The 2023 strategy updates a previous version from 2018 and elevates China to a broad and pervasive cyber espionage threat. It routinely conducts malicious cyber activity against the United States. Remember, non-critical malicious cyber activity. When they go live, when they're ready, it will be 100%, critical targets, and everything will go down. U.S. will have no power to stop it. Canada will have no power to stop it, folks. This is going down. They've got their fingers and their software everywhere, so we won't be able to stop this. Russia has undertaken malign influence against the United States that aim to manipulate, and this is where they go after Russia for elections. If it continues to refine espionage, influence, and attack capabilities, it says. Cyber issues are everywhere, including critical infrastructure, domestically and abroad. It goes on and says, we continue to see critical infrastructure, let me scroll down there, as a target for cyber-enabled attacks, which includes things like denial of service, malicious software, ransomware, theft of intellectual property. We are very concerned about it. Again, folks, every single day there's recent news, 6 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours, 8 hours, about hacks, DDoS attacks, spyware, and all manner of you know facilities catching on fire. And that's often because there's automated systems, control mechanisms that keep those systems running. And if they play with the computer systems, play with the logic and the code, they can literally make things catch on fire, just like Stuxnet did in Iran, that came from Israel. It caused the uranium centrifuges basically to spin up and to not spin down, to where they basically destroyed themselves. And so that's what they do with any connected manufacturing equipment. They can cause it to all go haywire and destroy itself in one manner or another. So this is a real and present threat to the United States, to Canada, to the Western world. Our communications will be taken out. Our technology will be taken out. This is what you need to prepare for, folks. So there's a warning to you. I told you, I told it to you here. Faraday cages may be well and good. If you have a cell phone, a memory stick, a laptop, and a Faraday cage, that's well and good. But it's probably not going to be useful for anything on the other side. Have food, water, a way to defend yourself, if you know what I mean. And have paper and hardback books about how to keep a garden, how to survive, prepper sorts of things, how to can food, edible, wild edibles, that sort of thing. Have the paper copies of those, because when it goes down, folks, all communications go down, internet goes down, websites go down. You will not have access to them. For your health and safety, the government will not give you access to those, because misinformation, malinformation, disinformation, Russian propaganda, whatever it may be, folks. I'm telling you now, I'm warning you. This is a warning. Communications will be the first to go down when World War III starts. So if you hear tell of that, pay attention, be ready. Make sure all your equipment does not have any need for the internet. And that's hard to do in this day and age, but something to work towards. I will leave there, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.